My name is Harry, and I'm from London.
Meghan Markle here.
Today is November 12th, 2024. It is 1:28 a.m. I don't know how to start this video, but I did spend some time to put some tweets together, but I haven't really been online as much. I'm trying each time I take a peek to see, if the Sussexes are doing something, but the same nonsense popping up the leftovers, and I try to avoid them. So I went over some of the things that I liked throughout the day, and I create a list. I might have two videos. The first one, which is I'm talking on right now, will have 9 tweets, and the second one will be for PYTE, only 6 tweets. I don't know after I finish record this one if I'll have anything to add to it. And then depending on how I feel, I might go back on Twitter to see what's trending and share it with you, which is what I did on this video. So let's look at the background. 4,446 subscribers, new subscribers welcome. Estimate revenue $118.09. Analytics, okay, 987 views in the last 48 hours. So, and after the election, I've been thinking of different things. We thought we had it the same way I felt like the UK had it back in 2020. So it's like the reverse. What happened in the UK is happening in the US. But I feel like I'm just sharing my feeling. Okay, there's no truth. There's nothing. It's just what I'm feeling. I feel like there's a place there the universe wants to take us, but each time the universe come back to get us, we're not ready. We always made the wrong choice, which is what happened with the past election, 2024. Whether there was some stuff that happened, we could question it all we want, but this is where we are. There are some people that they're not ready to go where the universe wants to take us. There needs to be some self-reflection, because there are different things that I've been sharing on my community board and things like that, where I said they're trying to normalize those bad behaviors. And you see how they're popping up young people of the bad behaviors. Many of them are young people are easily to follow those bad behaviors. Sometimes those bad behaviors that are being shown is just a test to see your conscience, your moral, your ethic. For those young people to recognize, take a step back, think, and acknowledge certain things, put things in perspective. If this happened to me, how will this affect me? Or if this happened to a loved one of mine, how will this affect me? These kind of things. Many of these flashy things that usually pop up is the devil that's luring in. And it's also a test for everybody to see, okay, because the devil knows what the Lord or the universe wants to do, but they're trying to counteract it. So I feel like we are in a place of reflection. People need to so many things is popping up in my mind. Young people, And the old people, I don't know, their time about to go, but they don't want who's, you know, doing so much negative and for the young to follow, which will, making the universe, the world that we live in, be worse than, there's so much. When you think that older people were supposed to understand, to try to make things better, but they don't want who's turning the young people into continuing the bad behavior. So all of this, there's so much that needs to be reflected this past election. And I really hope young people see the light. And I thought the young people were more savvy, were more understanding of the things that were happening politically and all of that. But it seems like, no, they didn't get it. They did not get it. So instead of, sitting back and feeling bad or whatever, because at the end of the day, it's their future. It is their future. They have to shape their future. And my part, I will try. I'm not perfect. Hey, I will make my mistakes. Okay? I will be making my mistakes as well. But as I move along my path, I will try to do it in the best of my ability, not to hurt others. Sometimes ripple effects happen. My action, maybe I didn't see the ripple effect of my action, but in the moment I felt like it was the right thing to do. But there's a possibility it might affect other people, whichever way it might affect other people. But consciously, for me, myself, and as I try to raise my kids, I'm going to try to teach them in a more humble, understanding, and more respectful, with ethic and understanding of other people's feeling. So my path is clear, my conscience is clear, but young people need to take a step back and understand. Because when we look at the outcome of the election, despite all the interference we know of, but a good portion of people, for some reason, didn't get it. The guy literally tell you who he is, but yet you voted for him. The guy literally was a president before. You saw how he ran as a president when he was in office, COVID and all of that, disrespect people as he's, leading up to the election, but you still vote for him. So at this point, it cannot be any more clearer than anything else. It was crystal clear, but yet a good portion voted for him. Let's say there was no interference. Everything went accordingly and we move forward. And the good amount of people who voted the right way would have dragged along those confused individuals. And it just doesn't make sense to me to see the amount of people who actually did vote for him. This is the part here. Forget the interference. We've seen some of the things, the burning of mailbox. That stuff. Elon Musk literally put it in his own mouth. There were things that he did. Forget about that. I'm not talking about that. But the fact that the good amount of people who voted for him when things were really clear, this is the group that I'm talking about. Because the space, the universe wants to take us. We're not ready for it. As a group, we are not ready for it. We are not ready for it. Many people need to take a step back. As a matter of fact, all those people who are regretting of their vote need to step back. Go back to all of the interviews, all of the rallies that both of the candidates have put. It could not be any more clearer. Why did you feel this way? This is the guy that you wanted to vote for. Why? When the guy literally told you who he is. He's done some things in the past with young people, young girls. Why did you see this is the guy? But again, my conscience is clear, and I felt like if, let's say, we have won, there was no interference, we were moving in the space where Camilla wanted to take us, we were in a good spirit, many of these would have destroyed that spirit. So this is not our time yet. Some people need to take some reflection. And guess what? The devil's already working in the next plan. Okay? How to confuse them even more. Because there will be another... we had 2016 where former First Lady Hillary Clinton warned us. But many did not vote for her still. So there will be other good, conscious people that will be running again. Or the next generation gonna see the light. So it's up to us. I think the Lord is ready to take us the space that He wants us to go. But we're not ready. Many young people keep on rejecting it, especially the young people, because these are the groups that will do the continuation of things. But they're the one who's not ready. They are confused. I spoke with someone at my gym. I always say hi and things like that, small talks. And I say, how do you feel about the election? She's like, I'm pretty happy about it and this. And she looked at me thinking that I was going to say something negative. I said, okay, that's good. This is the way you feel. That's valid. Guess what? It's a democracy. It goes both ways. If I had one, maybe she would said whatever. But this is her views. Again, young people need to reflect on things. The moral of things, because the space that we need to go to be in a peaceful, calm prosperity, young people are not ready for it. They're not ready for it. The devil is working very hard to keep them in that state of despair. Okay, so again, the UK, the squatty UK could spit back everything that I said after that 2020 election back. But they're trying to be on a correct path, okay? So let's give kudos where kudos is. Alright? But whatever I said about the UK back in 2020, after that election, is the same thing over here. Alright? A lot of people are confused. Alright, but I'm trying to be in a space of clarity, a space of understanding, a space of tranquility. So many of these young people, it's up to them to make their own path. I will try my best to teach my two boys, okay, to be in that space of clarity, understanding, and respect. And hopefully they get it. Again, it will be up to them. I will do my part as a living human being to teach them the best way that they could be in their space without disturbing someone else's space. So that's my job right now, to teach my two boys, even though the devil wants young boys to have control of other human beings' body, a female's body. For me, it's for them. What I will be teaching them is that respect other people's well-being. Their body is not yours. Their body is their body. You focus on yours and ask permission first before anything. Don't impose your will onto someone else. So this is how I will teach my boys. Even though society, the evil-minded society, wants the boys to feel empowered over another human being. No. Walk alone side by side with your significant other and have respect. This is the way that I will be teaching my boys. Alright, so let's go on Twitter. What do I have here? Wow, I spent 14 minutes explaining my thought. I didn't even know I was gonna say all of that. Okay, this is the first tweet. This is a LOL. That was for Monday. Today's Tuesday. I'm recording on Tuesday morning. So LOL. Mondays is like this. 7 seconds. I thought that was cute. Okay, so the bright side of things. Alright, let's go to the next tweet. The next tweet is something I shared on my community board regarding Prince Philip, where he was talking about you know, what will destroy the monarchy, this kind of thing. And when I was thinking about it, and I felt like this will be, I think of MAGAs in a sense, where Trump gave them so much hope and whatever it is. But now many of them are starting to figure out, regretting their votes. But at the same time, he did tell them what he was gonna do. But many of them felt like it wasn't gonna be them. That's the problem. When Trump was talking, he put it on everybody. He then said, well, let's just say white men, white boys, pretty much will be excluded from his barbaric kind of tactic of behavior of deportation, but white men, white boys will be excluded from that. But all the other ones, the Hispanic, all of them, this is why so many African Americans said, we try to warn you. Okay, you on your own. You're gonna be doing protests, you're on your own, because that could have stopped already. We could have stopped all of that by voting for Kamala Harris. Okay, as I said, some of these when it comes to the 2024 election, okay, I try to exclude, but I'm fully aware of the interference, of the burning of mailbox, and some people who send their mail-in ballots is still not showing in the computer that they recorded it and all of that. Okay, I'm excluding all of that. I'm focusing on the groups who actually did vote for him. These groups. So the thing was clear for them. All of the hardship we will be facing ahead, okay, could have stopped if we had voted for Kamala Harris. The guy told you he's gonna do all those barbaric behaviors, but you still vote for him. So what can we, I mean, I don't know what to say anymore. But let me read this. Who would have thought that it would be Prince Philip himself who will perfectly describe how the royal family will meet its demise? Okay, and this aspect here, how the MAGAs, the Trumps will meet its demise. Because these people, when they are angry, they express their anger. I'm talking in terms of MAGAs, okay? The MAGA people. When they are angry, they express their anger physically and all of that. This is not me saying go do. Okay, we've seen their action before. I'm talking based on their action. Okay, it's the supporters like Jeremy Clarkson and his ilk and the press and their following that will bring about their downfall. Okay, this part question mark, but whatever. All right, so let's go into that. I will be focusing on the video but not the comments. Okay, let me pause. Okay, most of the monarchies in Europe were really destroyed by their greatest and most ardent supporters. Okay, that by their most ardent supporters. It's the most reactionary of people who try to hold on to something without letting it develop and change. Okay, so there's the change that was about to happen, but the people didn't see it. But let's listen. Okay, it's 26 seconds. There will be screenshot. Okay.
I think the British monarchy is so strong, despite the fact that so many monarchies in Europe have died.
I think the British are more liberal in their outlook, and I think instead of most of the monarchies in Europe were really destroyed by their greatest and most ardent supporters. It was the most reactionary people who somehow or other tried to hold on to something without letting it develop into change. Have you ever...
Alright, so that's that. Let's leave it as that. I just took something from my other video that I was gonna do and put it right after it because it makes reference to some of that. That's where I should have put it. Alright. So let me pause here. Okay, the BBC called out for covering up the story about the corruption and the royal family. Viewers complained and asked what was more important than reporting that King Charles and Prince William are scamming NHS and charities. Just imagine if this was Harry and Meghan. So how recent? Okay, so this person posted on yesterday, the 11th. So is this a bit recent? Are the people all upset now? Because I reported about a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. But let's see here. 2 minutes and 20 seconds screenshot.
BBC should have paid more attention to those revelations. I cannot be the only viewer who is wondering why the huge story broken by Channel 4 and the Sunday Times on the royal finances has not been touched by the main news outlets. She wasn't. A viewer called Billy also contacted us. Twice this week, the royal family, particularly Prince William, have been given puff pieces on his environmental and humanitarian work. This coming after Channel 4's documentary on the Duchies of Lancaster and Cornwall. No mention of any of this. If the BBC is meant to be impartial, I feel this should also apply to the royal family.
In news that will shock absolutely nobody, the royal family are a bunch of parasites because King Charles and Prince William's private estates are taking millions of pounds from public bodies, including the NHS, the armed forces, charities and schools, whilst not paying taxes on it. The numbers associated with some of these deals are completely insane. £37.5 million agreement to lease Dartmoor Prison, a building that is empty. £11.4 million deal to rent a London warehouse over 15 years to store ambulances. The Royal Navy being charged to dock their ships and refuel. Schools being charged. Education. I mean, these are the deals the royal family are okay with us knowing about. You can only imagine how bad some of them are. Now, people can downplay this and say, oh, shock horror, man leases land that he owns. But to be clear, this is land that was largely stolen off of people during feudal times by medieval monarchs that is being used to line the pockets of incredibly wealthy people who are leasing it to public services that they claim to love and cherish. And it's not a surprise as to why when they're being paid millions of pounds of taxpayer money. Now, the reason the duchies aren't paying any tax on these deals is because they consider themselves to be private estates, and therefore William and Charles aren't paying corporation tax, nor do they pay capital gains tax on the assets that they sell, yet they act in a commercial manner. If they want to be both private and commercial, then they should be paying taxes just like everybody else. And as we all know, Charles and William talk a good talk when it comes to environmental concerns, yet their actions couldn't be further from their words, because they're more than happy to lease their land to mining companies that will cause all manner of environmental damage. And Prince William, Mr. I Want to End Homelessness, owns 76 properties that fail to meet minimum legal energy efficiency standards for landlords. Some of his tenants are at risk of fuel poverty, and they are living in hard-to-heat homes riddled with damp and black mould. The future King of England is a slumlord.
Okay, so it goes on. I spoke about it already, so there's no reason for me to add more. Again, I felt like I had to switch it up because I just talked about Prince Philip with regarding supporters. So it's just a matter of time. Okay, it's just a matter of time. But I know currently our young people, when I thought they were ready for a brighter future, they're not ready. They're not ready. I don't know when this moment is gonna happen again. It may not happen in my lifetime, where we could have been in a better space, but majority of them are not ready for the space that I would say the Lord, because this is who I truly believe in. The kind of the Jesus, in terms of religion, Christianity, the kind of God that I follow, wants to take us. The rest of us are not ready for it. There will be a drag on. There will be like a mold or a taint. They're just not ready. That's all. Okay? In order for us to be in the space of unity, prosperity, understanding, caring, loving, the rest of the rest of the world, I will not even say the rest of the young people, whichever you want to phrase it, they're not ready for it. Okay? So for those who are in a space of understanding, loving, prosperity, caring, keep that, because you do not want to be in that other space, because the Lord wants more of us to be in that space. So continue your way of being respectful and all of the positive things. keep being that. And if you could change someone else to be in that space, make them see that space, do that. This is how we will be moving forward. Because right now, too many young people are easily, how will I say that? Easily distracted. Okay? You thought so many things that happen in schools. Young people are dying. You would have thought they get it, but no, they went back. So it's just a matter of time. Okay? It's just a matter of time. But this, let me pause that. It was the time for us to move forward, but they didn't take that opportunity. They did not take that opportunity. You see them doing, well, then again, we have to be very careful based on the tactic, what I've seen in the UK. Okay, I learned a lot from the UK, is that when you look at during Kamala Harris certain things, that's when those protesters are coming, you know, this and that, but you don't see them doing it at the Trump rallies. Okay, back then, okay, the election is over. I'm talking leading up to the election. You didn't see them doing that. Okay, it could have easily orchestrated by, you know what, the evildoers. They purposely did that to confuse the young people as well, and the young people fall for it. These are the things many young people need to learn. And when they sent or they throw the squirrel at them, to ignore the squirrel and focus on the objective. This is the things that young people need to focus on. Okay, what do they want? Okay, what do you want? How do you want it? And focus on that, because the devil will be throwing a lot of distraction. Okay, so let's go to the next tweet. Alright, so these are some videos from The View. Obviously, there will be a screenshot, and some of them I didn't listen to. So let me see what's going on here. Anna kept it 100% here. Oh, okay, so there's two of it. Alright, this one is 2 minutes and 3 seconds.
So perhaps that means that they will go back to the plan that was that both the Republicans.
What was it? There. I will rewind it. When President Biden went to The View, there was something that Whoopi said, is that you know, she was one of those who died. Was it ride and died? You know, she pretty much will support Biden no matter what. Okay. Again, those people are good at what they do. They sent, the UK sent the, you know, the masterful kind of tactician of psychology over here to help Trump. It worked. It worked. I'm sorry to say, it's not funny, but it worked. But majority of people will, no matter what the naysayers were saying for Biden to step down or whatever, to let Kamala run or Kamala run or anything like that, but majority of people would have still voted for Biden. But it is what it is. Okay, let's start all over.
So perhaps that means that they will go back to the plan that was that both the Republicans and the Democrats were going to do at the border, and was stopped by you know who. So maybe that's in his mind, that there is something to do there.
You realize, I mean, it's
What Whoopi Goldberg is talking about is that while Biden is president, a couple months ago, leading up to the election, the Democrats, the two-party system, the Democrat and the Republicans, came together to create a bill, a law. Okay? They agree on it. Some of them, a good majority of them, agree on it to make it into law. So Trump told his Republican buddies to not vote for it. So many of them did not vote for it, which pretty much, you know, killed the bill. It did not pass. So it did not pass to come into effect for it to become law. So what Whoopi Goldberg is saying here, so now that Trump wins, they probably will bring back that same bill that Trump said to kill it, and then there's a possibility they will vote for it and make it into law under Trump. So Trump could have his name on it instead of Biden. That's all it was. Okay? That's what I think Whoopi Goldberg is making reference to. Okay, you understand? The same bill that could have easily been passed already, fix the border issue, Biden sign his name and make it into law. So now, because Trump said don't vote for it, it never passed. Now that he will become president because he is elected. He's president-elect right now. So when he's become president, they will bring that same bill, same bill over, and then if they pass it, now I believe the Republican has the House and the Senate, and they most likely will pass it, and then he will have his name on it. Okay, that's what Whoopi Goldberg is making reference to. So let's get back to the original recording.
Chilling what he just said. You realize that when he says, yes, families can be deported together, what he is saying is that U.S. citizens can be deported. What he is saying is if the parent is undocumented and they have U.S. citizen children or U.S. citizen spouse, or and you don't want to separate them, then let's deport the U.S. citizens. Look, Donald Trump won the electoral vote. He won. He's going to win the House. He won the Senate. For all effects and purposes, he's got the Supreme Court. They've given him immunity. This is what the country voted for. This is, a lot of people thought that when he talked about mass deportations, he wasn't being serious. I don't know how many times he had to say it for people to realize he was being serious. Well, if you thought he wasn't being serious, the appointment of Tom Homan today as border czar, and he will be in charge of a mass deportation program, the largest the country has ever seen, they say. And now Stephen Miller, as Deputy Chief of Staff, should let you know that he was absolutely serious. And when you talk about...
This is the thing. He told them. And the worst thing is, he was president in 2016 up to 2020. They saw his type of government. They saw it. Put people in cage. But yet, they voted for him. This is why a lot of African Americans are saying, okay, you're not going to see us protest with you. Because we told you, we warned you, and you saw it with your own two eyes. So let's continue.
About mass deportations, people think, oh, it's just going to be the criminals. There's not enough criminals, aliens in the federal prison system for it to be mass deportations. What it means is grandmothers. What it means is brothers and aunts. What it means is abuelos y abuelas. It means dreamers. It means family members. It means your colleagues. It means your friends. It means people.
You know what that reminds me of? Remember how the UK was doing, sending people to Rwanda? So that's the same version here, okay? They had the blueprint. It's the same thing.
Who are part of the society. And look, America, those of you who voted for Trump, this is what you wanted. This is what you voted for. You screwed around and you're about to find out.
That's it. Our conscience is clear. My conscience is clear. All right, so she continue here, 42nd. And here.
So in the last few days, I got a call from a couple of people, friends of mine, people very close to me in Miami, big Trumpers, who are worried now about what's going to happen to their undocumented nannies that help them raise their children. So I told them that I suggested they learn how to clean their kids' ass. People who think that what Trump was saying, that the racial slurs, that the threats on immigration, that all the Department of Education, all those things that Trump has been saying, RFK, was just rhetoric, hyperbole. So in the last few days...
I agree with her. Our conscience is clear. Trump told you. I was reading this. Let me see here. I didn't watch it, but I had a feeling Sarah was about to say something stupid. And she did. Okay, let's see if there's a video of it. She's a two-faced Karen. All right, let's leave that alone. Let's go to the next one. It's another video of The View. Let's see here. I hope it's not repetition. Okay. Let's pause. Okay, so this time is sunny. Okay, I need the memo. When MAGA gives a F, Democrats fight to keep them safe. In return, they willfully give away what you fought hard to get them. Some people need to experience some stuff in order to understand the enemy from within. All right, so let's see what she said here. Sunny had the receipt on the incoming border czar. that overseas men did meant what he said. F1 find out. Okay, 57 seconds. Let me go into it so it could be bigger.
I think it's really loud and clear that what he said, he meant. And if you look at Holman's background, he was a contributor to Project 2025. He was a police officer, which I find really rich because he was appointed by a convicted felon. He also was a United States Border Patrol agent, a special agent with the former Immigration and Naturalization Service. So this is his thing. This is his background. But what I would like to point out is that there is no correlation between undocumented people and a rise in crime. That's statistically accurate. Immigrants, including undocumented immigrants, are less likely to commit crimes in the United States. So this notion somehow that it's about national security, I think is just false. I think this notion really is about otherization of people. I think it's about a culture war. And I'm sad for the country, quite frankly.
There it is.
I think it's really...
All right, so yeah. There's me saying here, I need the memo where MAGA gives a F. Pretty much what they're doing here, they're creating a reason, okay? Manufacturing a reason for for their action. That's all. Whatever action they're gonna do, which we already know. Okay, I need the memo where MAGA gives a F. Democrats fight to keep them safe, and return, they willfully give away what you fought hard to get them. Some people need to experience some stuff in order to understand the enemy from within. Okay, think about it. Why will an undocumented immigrant break our law at the risk of being deported? I agree with Sonny. Alright, so that's that. Leave it alone. Hey, their family members voted for them, for Trump and all of that. Guess what? My conscience is clear. Majority of other African Americans' conscience are clear. We warn you. Similar to this guy, where he said, "Dear white woman, why the F this, why the F that?"
Dear white women, what the fuck is your purpose, huh? What the fuck is your purpose, huh? What the fuck is your purpose?
Okay, this is him who posted that. Who posted this tweet that I'm about to share. He warned you guys. Okay, so this is the next tweet. Okay, you said no lies. Glad you got it out of you. Okay, glad you got it out and you're feeling better. Okay, so that's him. He did a rant and I share it with you where he was talking about African American tried to warn you what about to happen. We went through it so that way you didn't have to go through it, but yet you still vote against your best interest. So it's him. All right, so this is his post here. After going off on everybody, I'm starting to feel a little bit better. I didn't know he had a YouTube channel. I follow him now on YouTube. Alright, so that's me who say, you said no lie. Glad you got it out and you're feeling better. You don't know me, but I love your work and by extension you and your creative and vocal spirit. And I'm so glad you are starting to feel better. And I'm glad you are putting the shame where it belongs. That's it. Yeah. Maybe I need this kind of release. Alright, so that's that. Let's go to the next one. Alright, so this one I'm not gonna read the article, just the headline. This is where I feel like they're trying to normalize bad behaviors, because if they did it, therefore if everybody else does it, so it's okay. This is where young people needs to be very careful. You see them try to, the influencers, they try to give influencers incentive to show bad behaviors so the rest of the young people who follow them to feel it's okay. This is how they get them. This is why the US have been voted, the group that voted that way are following those bad behaviors. Okay, so there's that here. Why is no one ever willing to resign on a point of principle anymore? I'm thinking some Democrats before the Trump debacles or whatever, they frame some Democrats, some minor things, some old pictures, what's this guy? Is it Al Frank or something like that? He was a comedian and some old pictures surface and they try to shame him on it and he resigned because of that. Okay, but the Republicans never. Never. But anyway, all right. So I read this. I'm not gonna read the article. No values or standard in public life anymore. Expectation or follower. All right, let me read this and that's it. Let's start bottom up. Shame has been eliminated from public office. Yeah. Because look at how they put that. Because they've got no principle anymore. Because in this case, they are all at it. It's discrimination against older people in the workplace. He will never get another job. Gospel. Whatever it is. But next tweet, because I found out, okay, after trying to give excuses for Andrew when the Queen was alive, I found out he was a businessman in the oil industry. He works somewhere in France and all of that. And all of a sudden, he's a man of God. Okay, whatever. Let me not dispute anything. Let him be. This is the space that he's at. That's fine. Whoever wants to follow him, that's fine. But the space that I want to be, the God that I follow, it's not the same as his. Next tweet. The leftovers hypocrisy. Okay, the reason I put this is the tweet, okay, is because I'm trying to avoid the mumbles, the shenanigans of the leftovers. So this pretty much sums up everything. So that's the only reason I put this tweet. Exactly. The hypocrisy stinks. All right. Let me go into that so I could see the text much bigger. All right. It's always wild to me when accounts who Photoshop pictures of Meghan Markle daily insist that she faked her pregnancies and mark her suicidal ideation. Demand on this app that people have some decorum and respect for other royal family members. All right, so this pretty much sums up the shenanigan of the leftovers, asking people to apologize for saying something about mumble and all. I say, if you want to know, probably go to another Sussex Squad channel. Okay, because I do not want to, I'm trying as much, unless if I have something to say about it, maybe I'll share it, but other than that, I'm trying to avoid them. If Harry and Meghan are doing something, this is where I will be. And if there's a politic things that interest me, because politics affect us, I will share it the same way I'm doing right now in this video. But the leftovers, they have nothing significant to share, to educate, to enlighten, nothing. Okay. Exactly, they can F over. They Photoshop Meghan to look ugly while denying the beauty filter on their favorite, at least until she pisses them off. Usual around Remembrance Day, actually. They make that thing about when they should be focusing on the vets, but they turn that into her. Whatever. Okay, it's just unbelievable. They call out people for bullying. There's her name here. And in the same breath, say Meghan deserves to be. There's the thing here. Can they actually hear themselves? This is the thing here. This is what I've been saying at the beginning of this video. There is a space. I think the Lord is ready for us to take us to that space where we need to go. Because he is so loving. Okay? Because he is so loving. He wants to take all of us to that space. But a good portion of us are not ready to be in that space. Once we are in that space, he needs that space to be as clean as possible. Well, I don't know how we're going to get 100% of human beings to be in that same space. But those old people are tainting or, messing things up. And the young people are following. This is the party. The young people need to recognize it's the young people. The young people need to recognize what is happening. How, because it's their future at the end of the day. How are we going to move forward to be in a space of peace, prosperity, and tranquility? But they get so distracted very easily for any amount of money when the bigger price is ahead. The devil will stop you at your track with a few dollars or pounds, whatever you call your money in your respective country. Okay, a few amount of money to distract you from moving forward where the bigger price is ahead. So sometimes you need to suffer a little bit. Okay, ignore the few bucks that flashes in front of you so you could get to the bigger price. I don't know how to explain it. You see it on YouTube. You see how my channel is suffering. But when you go to some other channels who's talking nonsense, negativity, making it flashy, hey, they reward them. And many of them are not happy in the background, but they're spewing negativity. It's up to them. Okay, I'm in a space, I don't live lavishly. I try to stay humble, but guess what? When I need to spend money on things that will enlighten me or enlighten my children and things like that, there is no amount of money that I will spend to give them that kind of thing. Alright? And I teach them. Sometimes I have to be very careful too for the way that I'm teaching them, because I see my oldest is not. It seems like he's not valuing money. There needs to be a value on money. Needs to know the value of it. But at the same time, don't do stupid things for it though. This is the part that I'm teaching them, but it seems like he doesn't care too much about money. He needs to care about it, but there's a balance. It's the balance I want him to understand, the balance of it. Anyway, that's a different topic. I see the things that, when you teach kids something, you will always get a response from them. Sometimes the response that you get from them is not what you were hoping them to understand, and based on the response, there needs to be other teaching of it. This is where I'm at with my oldest. Okay, I teach him certain things, and then the response that I got from him is not what I was expecting, so now there's need to be another teaching. Okay, it's almost like, he messed up his shoes. My husband quickly buy him another one without letting him know, look, the one that we just bought you need to take care of it. Don't do certain things with it or something like that. Okay, don't quickly buy him another one. That way he still go and do the same stupid things without cherishing the shoes that you just got him. This kind of thing. Alright, so this is the next way. So I'm about to be done with this video, so I decided to put this at the end. There's no comment. Well, to be comment, I cannot see it though. Alright, look at the fresh face beauty. No way does she look 43. This is what having a clear conscience look like. Okay, that's it. You be on your space, create your serenity, you'll be fine. Okay, after seeing the controversy generated by certain picture and Toast and Beans Island, I can understand why they all hate her. Okay, again, we're trying to avoid the noises of the leftovers. This is another reason why I share that, especially with the caption. Alright, so I went into it. Let's see some of the comment. Okay, where we about Trump. Trump can do anything to an American citizen dummy. Why Princess Meghan is beautiful with a clean heart, and that's why she is aging backward. Alright, so that's that. Let's go to the next one, and this is my last one. Alright, so there's Harry here. Then whether it's Harry and Meghan together or Harry alone, still the best friend picture takers, that's for sure. Alright, so that's that. I thought I'd end this video in a positive note with both of them. Okay, I knew at the beginning I wanted to say something. I didn't know how I was gonna start it, but whatever I said in the beginning, it is what it is. Alright, so that's it. Please take a moment to subscribe, like, and share. If you want to support this channel, there's a PayPal link and a Cash App link in the description. You could donate. Those who have donated, thank you. So let's move forward in a positive way. Teach your kids, the best possible way you know how, in terms of respect, understanding, prosperity, and things like that. And young people, I don't know. May the Lord help you and take a step back, try to process things and try to understand things. And also, if you're trying to find your path, where you want to be and how you want to get there, once you find it, focus on it. Don't let people distract you, because once you find it, there will be a lot of distractions. So focus on your goal and focus on it, and try not to be distracted. because this past election, you guys just got distracted a lot. You didn't focus on the assignment. You tried to, but the distraction got the best of you. People don't have to live in pain. This is the thing here. You don't have to live in pain. The body wasn't made to be lived in pain. When you get a small cut, the first thing that happens, the body goes into shock. No matter how big or small the cut is, your body goes into full shock mode to heal itself. So I don't know why people likes to be in pain. So find your tranquility, find ways where you don't have to be in pain without interfering in somebody else's life. If you find that, that's your serenity. All right, so that's it. Thank you for watching.
It is a great privilege to be with all of you today.
You know, we ask for forgiveness and please come back.
As you saw me find the love and happiness that I'd hoped for all my life.